Luisa took a private driving lesson and she asked me to tell her all the mistakes that she's making because she wants to take her road test in New York and she wants to know exactly everything that she's doing wrong. First, as always, I have to make sure that she has her learner's permit. I will let Luisa do some things even if she's making them wrong. So then I can show her the right way to do it. And at the same time, you can also learn. Here we can see that as soon as Luisa goes into the car, and the first thing that she does is that she puts on her seatbelt. But this is a wrong thing to do because this makes really difficult to adjust your seat. The right steps as soon as you go into the car are: number 1, adjust your seat. Number 2, put on your seatbelt. And then you can fix your mirrors. This will not make you lose points on the road test, but I bet the examiner is already having goosebumps. Here we are approaching an intersection, and this is the instruction that I gave her. I told her, at the light, turn left. She activates the blinker to the left, which is perfectly fine, and gradually presses the brake and slows down right before the white line because the traffic light is on red. Now she waits, checks surroundings, but in 3 seconds, she's gonna make a mistake that can make you fail the road test automatically. Cheque que no vengan carros por atrás, cuidado, no esperar por la policía. Here I had to press the brake. I did it because I saw that Luisa was willing to turn to the left, but she made that decision too early. The mistake here is that she didn't wait to get to the center of the intersection before she makes the decision to see if it is or not safe to turn. Always when you're going to turn left, the cars in front of you on the opposite direction have the same green light as you. So the rule is whoever is turning left has to wait at the center of the intersection. Once you are at the center of the intersection and you think that it's safe to turn or that you have enough space before the other car comes to turn, you had to make this decision at the center of the intersection. At the center of the intersection is where you take the decision to see if it is safe or not to turn. But Luisa didn't wait to get to the center of the intersection to make that decision. She did it too early, and that's really dangerous. Let's see with these satellite images a little more clear what Luisa had to do. She had to stop here before the white line, which she did it. Then she had to move forward to the center of the intersection, which she didn't do. And from there, she was supposed to make the decision if she can or not turn to the left. But this is what Luisa did. When she saw the green light, she moved forward until around here, right before the crosswalk. And based on the way that she was pressing the gas, checking her surroundings, and getting ready to turn, gave me the impression that she was about to turn. So me, as a driving instructor, I had to press the brake, which made us stop around here. But in reality, she made the decision back here, at the end of the green line, which is way sooner than the center of the intersection. The center of the intersection is here, and Luisa made the decision back here. This distance while driving is humongous. What could happen if you make the decision back here is that from the moment that you make the decision and the time that takes you to cross the entire intersection, the other cars that are coming straight that have the right of way could be there at the same time as you, which could cause an accident. Now let's see the number 1 mistake that examiners like the least. This mistake will not only make you lose points or make you fail the road test automatically, but you will also find out how patient are the examiners. And it is that it bothers them a lot that you don't follow instructions. Let's see one example here. The instruction that I gave Luisa was to pull over. The examiners will tell you this at any time out of nowhere. Without prior notice, they will tell you only those 2 words, pull over. But before I tell you how to do it, let's see if you can point what mistakes Luisa is doing. Luisa stopped here, but not necessarily to the side of the road, because she has too much space between the tire and the curb. The space on the right should be of 1 foot or less. Besides that, she needs to put the blinker to the right to indicate that she will be stopping on the right side of the road, and she also has to make sure that there is nothing on the right side of the road, like a bicycle, people, animals, before she pulls over on the right side of the road. Let's say that this happens on the road test. She will lose 10 points for not activating the blinker to the right, 10 points for not checking surroundings, and 10 points for stopping too far from the curve. Just by pulling over on the road test, you could lose 30 points. So remember that the right way of pulling over is: first, you activate the blinker to the right, then you check the surroundings, especially your right mirror and your right shoulder, and then you gradually approach to the right side of the road. We have to check as a priority the right mirror and the right shoulder, because when you pull over, you are taking the car towards the right. You always have to imagine that there is a bike riding on the right side of the road, right behind you, and that if you move closer to the right to pull over, you will block that bicycle. So first, you will have to check over your right mirror and right shoulder to make sure that the bike is not there, to know that it's safe to move closer to the right side of the road, that it's safe to pull over. I noticed that if we analyze the entire driving lesson, this video will be way too long. So my recommendations for Luisa are to remember to use the blinkers always before any action, before you pull over, before you turn, before you leave the curve, before you park. And also to be really sure that you are checking the surroundings as you are approaching or crossing the intersections. And lastly, try to react as soon as the examiner gives you an instruction. As soon as the examiner tells you to pull over, you immediately put the blinker to the right and start checking surroundings. If the examiner tells you to turn left or to turn right, same thing. You immediately put the blinker and start checking your surroundings. And this is all for now, Luisa. I am pretty sure that if you apply these recommendations, your possibilities of passing the road test will increase significantly.